All right, let's get right into it. Have you ever wondered how companies like Netflix or Amazon can push out updates to their apps like all the time without everything just breaking? Well, the secret sauce, in one word, is DevOps. It's a modern approach that has totally changed the game for how software gets built, shipped, and run. So today, we're going to break down exactly what it is, why it matters so much, and, how it all actually works. But here's the thing. To really get why DevOps is such a big deal, we have to go back and look at the problem it was created to solve. For decades, the world of software was dealing with something that had a pretty dramatic name, the wall of confusion. So on the left here, this is the old world. You had your development teams writing code, and then what did they do? Well, they'd pretty much just throw it over a wall to the operations team, whose job it was to make it run. The result of this? Complete silos. Releases were painfully slow. We're talking maybe once every few months. And the risk of failure? It was huge, because the people building the thing were totally disconnected from the people who had to keep it running. Now, this problem wasn't solved overnight, not by a long shot. If you look at the timeline here, you can see a clear evolution. It all started way back in the waterfall era with these really rigid step-by-step phases. Then the agile movement came along and helped developers build stuff faster, but ops was still on the other side of that wall. It wasn't until around 2009 that the actual term DevOps was born, and that marked a real shift in culture. And then, that idea was supercharged by an explosion of automation tools and the rise of cloud-native tech, which is what brings us to the DevOps we know today. So, what is this new way of working? It's not just some new tool you buy or a new job title. At its very core, DevOps is a completely different philosophy. And this slide really nails the core idea. DevOps is all about a set of practices that finally unite the development and operations teams. The whole point is to bridge that massive gap between writing code and actually getting it into the hands of customers. This lets companies deliver better software, way faster, and with a lot more reliability. It's a total game changer. A really great way to picture this whole philosophy is not as a straight line with a start and a finish, but as a continuous, never-ending, infinite loop. This visual really captures that ongoing, collaborative process that is DevOps. And here it is. This is the infinity loop. It shows that the work is never really done. The cycle of planning, building, testing, deploying, and monitoring just keeps going. You can see the left side generally represents the development tasks, and the right side covers operations. But look at how seamlessly they flow into each other. There's no wall here. So let's actually walk through this loop. It all kicks off with a plan. From there, developers code and build the application. And then a whole bunch of automated tests run to make sure the quality is there. After that, it gets released and deployed out into the live environment. The ops team then operates the system and, this is the crucial part, they monitor its performance. And all that information gets fed right back into the planning stage for the very next cycle. And around we go. Okay, you might be thinking, how on earth do you manage all of this at high speed without everything just falling apart? Well, that would be totally impossible to do manually, and that is where the DevOps Toolkit comes in, a whole suite of technologies built specifically for automation and efficiency. One of the absolute foundational ideas here is something called containerization. Now, the concept is really simple, but it's incredibly powerful. Instead of just shipping your code, you package up your application with everything it needs to run, all the libraries, all the dependencies, into one tidy, self-contained little box called a container. This completely solves that classic, well, it works on my machine problem for good. And this is where two of the most famous tools in the tech world come into play. A good way to think about it is this. Docker is the tool you use to build the individual shipping containers. It's what packages your app. But if you have thousands of these containers, you need a port manager to handle all the logistics, right? That is Kubernetes. It orchestrates or manages all those containers at a massive scale, automatically handling things like scaling up for traffic and healing itself if something breaks. Now, beyond containers, this whole world of automation really stands on three key pillars. First, you have CI/CD pipelines. That stands for continuous integration and continuous delivery. Think of these as the automated highways that build, test, and deploy your code. Second, there's infrastructure as code, which means managing servers through code, making everything repeatable and consistent. And third is monitoring, using tools that give you the eyes and ears you need to see what's happening with your system's health in real time. So when you take this new culture, this infinite loop lifecycle, and all these powerful tools, and you mash them all together, what does it actually look like in practice? What are the best teams actually able to do with all this? Well, they can achieve some absolutely incredible things. Their systems can automatically scale up to handle sudden spikes in traffic. Testing isn't an afterthought, it's automated and built into every single step. They can use clever deployment strategies to release brand new features with absolutely zero downtime. And what if something does go wrong? No sweat. They can hit a button and instantly roll back to the last stable version. It's all about building systems that are fast, resilient, and totally observable. If you only take away one thing from all of this today, let it be this right here. The core cultural principle of DevOps can be boiled down to this one simple, powerful phrase. You build it, you run it. What that means is developers share ownership, and they share responsibility for the software when it's live in production. The wall is gone. It's just one team with one shared goal, delivering value to the user. This whole philosophy, breaking down silos, automating everything you can, sharing ownership, it isn't just for software companies. It's a really powerful way of thinking about collaboration and efficiency in general. So, the final question I'll leave you with is this.